Have you ever wondered how a sports league seems to know exactly what you want? From the ads you see to the halftime shows, none of it is an accident. It's all part of a master playbook, one designed to understand you, the fan. So let's dive in and decode exactly how they pull it off. Just think about this for a second. You've got the calm, quiet greens of the PGA Tour on one hand, and then you have the high-flying, adrenaline-pumping chaos of the X Games on the other. You're not going to use the same strategy to sell tickets to both of those, right? Of course not. But digging into the why, well, that gets us to the very heart of modern sports marketing. The old days of mass marketing, of just shouting one single message to a giant faceless crowd, that's officially over. Today's sports marketers know that to win, you have to get specific. You have to understand what different groups of people actually want. Because treating everyone the same, that's a losing game. So what's the winning strategy then? It's this really powerful idea called market segmentation. Basically, it's the art and science of breaking down the entire audience into smaller, specific groups based on what they have in common. This is the first, and honestly, the most critical decision in the whole marketing process. It's how leagues stop guessing and start actually connecting with people. Okay, so if segmentation is the big strategy, how do you actually do it? Well, marketers have a whole toolkit at their disposal. The best way to think about it is like having a bunch of different lenses. Each one you look through shows you a completely different picture of the fan base. There are 6 main lenses, or what they call bases, for segmentation. You can slice up the market by where people live, their social class, their lifestyle, or even by the specific benefits a fan is looking for. But for our purposes today, we're going to focus on the one that's the most widely used, the absolute bedrock of the whole kit: demographics. And this is where it gets really interesting. We're going to look at how major sports leagues use simple demographic data, stuff like age, gender, and ethnicity, to build these incredibly smart and successful campaigns. So let's meet the fans. First up, the youth market. Sports leagues are no longer taking kids for granted. Why? Because they've figured out a crucial truth. That little kid in the stands today cheering their heart out, that's the adult who's going to be buying season tickets in 20 years. You have to build that loyalty early. And if that long-term vision isn't enough to convince you, just look at the money. The purchasing power of Americans between 8 and 24 years old is a staggering $211 billion. So this isn't just about some fuzzy idea of future loyalty, it's about a massive, immediate economic force. So how do they get to them? Well, the tactics are all over the place, and they're pretty clever. You've got NASCAR-branded toy cars, Build-A-Bear workshops right inside MLD stadiums, the NFL's huge Play 60 campaign to get kids active, and the NBA building hundreds of safe places for kids to play. Each one is a strategic move designed to weave their brand right into the fabric of childhood. All right, let's move up to the next age group and see how this evolves. When we get to teenagers, things get way more complex. Sure, the NFL is still king overall, but this chart shows you something brilliant. You can't just target teens as one big group. Just look at the difference between what teenage guys and girls are interested in when it comes to, say, the WNBA or NASCAR. It's huge. Leagues have to get granular to understand that even inside one age bracket, gender plays a massive role. Now, let's swing all the way to the other end of the spectrum, the mature market, so people 55 and older. There's this old stereotype that this group isn't very active. Well, the data says something completely different. Over 10 million are fitness walking, almost 9 million are on treadmills, and nearly 5 million are out there playing golf. This is a vibrant, active, and really engaged audience. And here's why marketers are paying very close attention. This demographic controls over 70% of all the disposable income in the United States. They have serious spending power. That is exactly why you see these thriving senior tours for sports like golf and tennis. It's a direct response to a wealthy and active market just waiting to be engaged. Okay, let's switch from age to another key demographic: gender. If you think the typical sports fan is a man, well, you need to think again. The female fan base is an absolute powerhouse. Women make up 44% of the NFL's audience, and an incredible 51%, that's a majority, of Major League Baseball's audience. These are not niche numbers. This is the core of the market. In leagues like the NFL have really woken up to this fact. This quote from Commissioner Roger Goodell, it's so telling. It shows a huge strategic shift away from old stereotypes and towards real authenticity. The message is clear. Female fans are knowledgeable, they're passionate, and they demand to be treated that way. It's about respect, not just pandering. Now let's look at ethnic background, another crucial lens. The NFL, a sport that's so traditionally American, has made massive inroads with the Hispanic community. The Super Bowl isn't just an American event anymore. It's the single most watched TV program among Hispanics, period. And in response, teams are embracing the culture with heritage events, Spanish language broadcasts, and all kinds of targeted outreach. And it's not just one group either. Marketers are also looking very closely at Asian Americans. They're the fastest growing ethnic group in the whole country, and they also have the highest median household income. For any sports league, that combination of rapid growth and serious purchasing power, well, that's a massive opportunity just waiting to be tapped into. So we've seen how leagues break down their audiences by age, by gender, by ethnicity. But what's the end game here? This isn't just some academic exercise. It's about transforming all that raw data into true lifelong fan devotion. And this process is getting incredibly sophisticated. I mean, just look at the model used by Sport England. They gather these enormous amounts of survey data. Then they use statistical modeling to predict how people might behave based on their demographics. And then they use this advanced analysis to sort the entire population into 19 distinct fan types. It's basically data science meeting sports marketing. But at the end of the day, market segmentation is so much more than just a marketing tactic. In a world with infinite entertainment choices, really understanding who your fans are and who they could be is a survival strategy. It's all about keeping sports relevant and making sure the game is healthy for generations to come. And that brings us to the ultimate question that every single league is facing. As our world keeps fragmenting into countless little niches, that whole idea of a mass audience is kind of disappearing. The playbook is constantly being rewritten, and it leaves us with one big question. In a world like that, who exactly will be the fan of tomorrow?